Are you a classic rock fan like me? Well, then you came to the right place. Today we're going to be talking about the new album by Dirty Honey, Can't Find the Breaks. The album came out 3rd of November, Friday 3rd of November 2023. And in this video I'm going to talk about my expectations, how it actually was to listen to this album, if this is actually just a rip-off of old masters, and give my verdict and rating at the end. So if we start with the expectations, classic rock is tricky because the bands that kind of invented that are all great bands, Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, all these bands that we love and like and we keep going back to. So I'm always a little bit alerted to these kind of bands that are bringing classic rock nowadays. When we hear new stuff, we're often very disappointed, like we feel that it's a rip-off, they're just trying to be something else or whatever. And I think it is because the quality of what came in the 60s, 70s, 80s is just so high that it's really, really hard to bring anything new to kind of move the needle when it comes to new music. But bands have tried, like Rival Sons, Greta Van Fleet, and for me, they haven't really lived up to it somehow. And I haven't really been happy with what I've been hearing from them. Some of it is good, but some of it's not great. So I was curious if Dirty Honey are gonna do any better than that. So first, briefly, who are Dirty Honey? Dirty Honey are an American rock band from Los Angeles, California. They were founded in 2017 by singer Mark LaBelle and guitarist John Notto, and then soon after that joined by bass player Justin Smolian, and they got a new drummer this year called Jayton Bean. This is their second full studio album. The previous one came out in 2021. And the cover of this album is kind of like the lips on a colorful background. It gives sort of like a hippie vibe, I would say. I kind of like it. It has this kind of, I don't know what it is. You took LSD or something and then you came up with this. So how is this album? I gave it 6 or 7 spins. I took it out running. I took it with the dogs to the park. I listened in the car. I listened in the Money Factory. And I have to say that after the first listens, my skepticism wasn't really put to bed somehow. The first song is called Don't Put Out the Fire. Starts off kind of very soulful with the singing, but then moves into kind of a CC Top-ish riff. But what I noticed immediately on that song is that there's an upgrade from the first album in terms of, sound quality and stuff like that. The second song is called Won't Take Me Alive. And when I heard that song, I thought, okay, back in the saddle with Aerosmith. And it's kind of, I thought when I looked at Spotify, like, did I actually skip off this album and start listening to Aerosmith? It was so similar somehow. So it was getting me a little bit worried, to be very honest. The third song is called Dirty Mind. It's a little bit more bluesy than the previous 2 songs, but it immediately kind of dragged me into thinking Black Crowes, which, I mean, it's not like this is Bad Company, it's Top, Black Crowes, Aerosmith. I like all 3 songs, but it sort of kept on growing that seed of doubt that this would be just another rip-off somehow. And the doubt doesn't really get any better with song number 4, that is called Rome. That's like a ballad that after the intro kind of settles into something that reminds me very much of Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. The chord progression, even the solo, and there are even parts of the lyrics there that are kind of, I immediately thought that they are just doing a cover of Nothing Else Matters, but they're not. I mean, it's a good song and all that, but Nothing Else Matters was made in 1990 or something like that. So you gotta check that song out for yourself, because you won't be able to unhear it after you do that. But then I kind of realized that these 4 songs are actually extremely diverse, and this band is actually capable of kind of, how do you say, have a very wide range within the genre somehow, and that's something that I had not felt on the first album. I mean, I admittedly I didn't listen to that a lot, but that kind of flowed through. Whereas this one, it was much more diverse already on the first 4 songs, and then from kind of song 5 and onwards, I don't feel this as much. I mean, there are some pretty good songs on there. There is a ballad called Coming Home, which I really like, and the singer Mark LaBelle, he shows what he's capable of. It's like a goosebump singing moments. And then there is the last song on the album called Rebel Son. That is somehow different from anything else on this album. It has some, I don't know, a little bit more of an agony or something to it. And it has, again, great singing by Mark. And then the kind of breakdown and outro, that the last 2 minutes of that song is just something really, really cool. So as to my question from the beginning, is this album just a rip-off of the old masters? And I wasn't really sure after the first 4 songs and the first few listens that I gave that. But afterwards, I can say It's clear what the inspiration is. This is not a rip-off, but it's obvious what the inspirations are. It's not like I can say that all the songs sound like Led Zeppelin or Black Sabbath, or Black Crowes, sorry, or anything like that. But you can kind of, yeah, as I said, find traces of all this music in these songs. But it's very diverse and it kind of moves very wide kind of within the genre somehow. And it's fun to listen to this album, I have to say that. And that takes us to my verdict and rating. So the pros of this album, as I said, is fun to listen to. It's great sound, amazing mix, and this was recorded in a studio. The previous album we recorded, I think, away from the engineer because of COVID or something like that. And I think you can hear it on this album that the band is more there, the producer and everyone is working closer somehow. It's a step up from the previous album in all senses, I feel. The singer, he's just one of the best singers out there. If only for that, you should listen to this album. The negatives, I would say the song mix. There are like 3 songs on this album that I don't feel yet, at least, that they are as strong as the other ones. And they kind of come in a row, like 8, 9, and 10. I'm gonna give this album 9 out of 10. I would have loved to have this album when I was 16 and played the hell out of it. And it's definitely gonna be a good party album. I found this band on our playlist, the weekly playlist that we make, and you can find the link to that Spotify playlist in the first comment to this video. Subscribe and like this video, and then I want to tell you about another classic rock band over here that you might be curious to hear and see about. So I'll see you in that video.